Hello everyone and welcome to another Assetto Corsa video. Today I thought I'd just see if controller could be competitive, and I've got some new controller settings there on the screen now. Settings, sorry. But we're going to hop right into it. This is my fastest lap at Monza in the Ferrari. I'll show you the time I pulled if I decide to put it on screen or wait till the end of the lap. But for my opinion, I think this game, you could compete with the wheel players, but only at least after a month of practice, because it does really take time. And of course, all the cars handle differently. Some, like the Porsche, it loves controllers. You could drive the Porsche easily on a controller, while the GTR, it's fine with controllers, but just kind of fights you sometimes. The Bentley Continental, it does like to slide a little bit here and there, from my opinion. But I think overall, if you want to start on controller, you should probably start with the Porsche. I find it has the best responses, and it doesn't really, very rarely do I actually end up spinning out if I put the traction control very low. I'm just driving the Ferrari because I like the paint job here. But another thing that when I first started this game on control I was worried about is this entire section of Monza. I thought I would hit this apex and spin out. But as you can see, it's actually pretty fine. And overall we get out of there at like 115. I think that's decent. We totally missed all the apexes though, so it could be better. Yeah, but you could definitely compete with people in, you could definitely compete with people in qualifying, like, that wouldn't be a problem. But you'd probably struggle in actual races. Alright, so let's see what my lap time was. It's a 153.907. I think that's pretty decent for a lap time on controller. I've seen Basic Ali run a 149 before, 148. And that's pretty amazing. But I think you could definitely get better at this. As you see, I kind of stalled the car a little bit in the front of the corner. And one of the hardest things about controller though is being consistent, because it feels kind of random on some tracks. Like Monza, that first corner, I always feel like I'm going to miss it. I brake at 170 instead of 160 meters because I can't. Alright, so if you've seen people drive this track on the wheel, you'll notice in the first corner they snap the wheel back very fast. I can't do that on controller because then I just snap the entire car. So think of it as like you're driving an MR2 and you don't want oversteer. Yeah, sort of like that. But overall, if you get smooth with it, you could easily compete with wheel players. Maybe even some pros as we slide there. Yeah, that's what I was worried about when I first started controllers. Tracks like these where high speed corners brake very hard, you could end up sliding. Now I'll give everyone a little bit of what it looks like from the interior in case you like sim racing extremely. It actually doesn't look that bad when you get used to it on controller. It's just in some situations you will find yourself like, how do I get out of this? Like if it goes 3 wide, you're hitting someone. It may not be a hard hit, but you're at least taking some paint off. Unless you just back out of it completely, then maybe you could survive. But yeah, corner turn 1, it is extremely hard. I'll show you. Just look at the wheel. You have to kind of let it sit in the center for a bit so it doesn't just immediately do a 360 turn on you. We're actually 2/10 up. Yeah, but overall I do like racing in this view because, you know, seeing the wheel and stuff, it looks cooler. But of course, if I want to actually win races and stuff, I'll go into the view where I can only see the dashboard, and I've overcooked it in that turn. That doesn't really happen a lot. It's just in this car, well, not this car, just on controller in general, you'll find it that you can easily overcook turns if you don't pay attention. Also, you notice on controller I don't exactly brake at the recommended points. Like here I broke at like 165 meters. I find when you brake at 150, it's like a 30% chance you'll make the corner on controller. Unless I'm literally the smoothest person around, then I can brake at 150. But of course, people run online. I've seen people run like maybe, what is it, 150. I'm 3 seconds off the pace, which is horrible. But at the end of the day, I can always get better. But of course, at the end of the day, if you're doing endurance races, don't bother on controller. Like 20-minute stints, then yeah, I see nothing wrong with it. But anything past that, I would recommend you getting a dedicated wheel. I also find interior view harder, so don't take that out on the lap time. That's extremely horrible. But I'll show you, since I showed you the Ferrari, I'll show you the Porsche, how easy it is on controller. We just finished our out lap and our come in. And it feels so smooth, especially the braking in this game. On controller, sometimes, well, some cars, it's a complete nightmare to slow them down. Like the GTR, sometimes I feel like I'm just not pressing anything. But for the Porsche, well, don't take this out in the lap time too. I don't really play this track outside of mobile games. But you can see it's overall pretty smooth. I think it's because this is all mostly high-speed corners, just like Monza, so it's easier to be smooth. But as you can see, it's really easy to control these cars. Just stop it into third gear, turn in, and it's like butter. You probably wouldn't even be able to tell I'm on controller if you were behind me or in front of me. There are some instances like down this corner. Alright, so I know this is a problem on wheel 2. People will gun it after the first little green thing on the side of the inside of the corner. You really have to be careful. Also, if you're playing on controller, I do recommend you play manual, just because it makes things easier to control, and you don't have to worry about, be going down to the first corner, you're in 5th gear, and the game's like, oh, that's fine. Yeah, and overall, you can be competitive. You just have to put the time into it, which you probably do have since it is quarantine. I mean, I've been playing this game since, well, started playing it a week after it came out, and this is the progress I made from playing it almost on a weekly basis. Like maybe, I think I have like 20 hours in this game. Yeah, but it's overall, you can play very easily. You don't have to worry about, oh, you're not being competitive at all. You just have to, if you do race online with other people, just try not to piss them off. Probably just race in third person. Just try not to keep people mad. Anyways, you can judge for yourself if it's wheel competitive or not. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.